Luigi has forever been ridiculed as the fragile, awkward brother to Mario.
Maybe I'm sick of being your sidekick and I want my own adventure.
What about the Luigi's a haunted mansion? Or are you still too scared?
Because for a long time in our culture, being soft or strange has been seen as unmanly. But if you look closer, Luigi is actually an exemplary representation of masculinity today. Traditional masculinity centers around denying emotion and being the alpha. We see this personified in Mario, who equates success with how fast he can get ahead and how many times he can get the girl.
What? Oh, yeah!
He doesn't care who he hurts in the process, and doesn't even value family, as demonstrated by his poor treatment of Luigi.
Hey, Mario! Look what I made!
It's a stone, Luigi.
It's a football!
Meanwhile, modern masculinity centers on many of the principles that Luigi embodies. Namely, that it is important to feel, and it's okay to not be the best, as long as you're doing your best.
Being a man and being masculine is like, so being able to be like caring.
Luigi doesn't hide when he's terrified. He's not afraid to be vulnerable.
Now we gotta go back and rescue her.
Well, then we better go now, before I get scared just thinking about it.
Yet, despite his fear, he's still up to the task of body slamming ghosts. Even with the odds stacked against him, he presses forward to try to save his friends and family.
Being a man for me is like protecting your family and like making sure everyone is happy before you are.
No matter how defenseless and pathetic Nintendo has sometimes tried to make Luigi, he still exudes true male strength because he's confident in who he is, sensitive, trembling, and all.
But true manhood is about loving and caring for as many people as you can.
Yes.
Here's our take on Luigi, a portrait of modern masculinity.
Everyone know about Mario and how he's so great at the kart racing, and the tennis, and the golf, and the baseball, and the soccer, and the painting, and the practicing of medicine, but nobody ever make a game about Luigi's charity work.
If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified about all our new videos. Mario and Luigi weren't always so different. They're twins after all, and at the beginning they were identical. Luigi was originally conceived as just Green Mario. He was a carbon copy, the same in every way but name and color. In his early days, Luigi was destined to fail by his very design. He didn't offer anything new to the game.
Oh, what happened?
The logic goes like this. Since Mario is always player 1, and player 1 is considered the best, player 2 is automatically worse. It's a position notoriously reserved for younger siblings and annoying friends.
Mario, wait!
What?
How come you always get to go first?
This again?
Despite his catchphrase affirmation,
I'm a Luigi, #1.
Luigi's association with second player made him the inferior one, even though his gameplay was indistinguishable from Mario's. Eventually, Nintendo saw this as an opportunity to set Luigi apart. They made him taller and able to jump higher.
You see that block up there? You bash it, Luigi, you're taller.
The controls were awkward at first, as is anything new, but it wasn't just the controls that players found awkward, it was Luigi himself.
And it's all my fault!
Nintendo leaned into this and started intentionally making Luigi seem like a bumbling coward.
Hey, watch the landing, Luigi!
No, it's the liftoff that got me.
Poking fun at him.
Oh, my trophy.
It appeared that Luigi's given role was to be constantly humiliated. Once Mario and Luigi got their own unique personas, Mario began reacting to Luigi's effeminacy, and not in a positive way.
Mario, turn that racket back down. Can't you see I'm trying to read?
Well, I want to listen to music. This record's hot.
In an episode of the Super Mario World television series, Luigi rescues baby Yoshi from certain death and brings him to safety. Yoshi, being a baby, thinks Luigi is his mom.
Mama Luigi! Cool it, caterpillar breath. I'm not your...
Mama? Mama Luigi?
When Yoshi says that in front of Mario, Luigi instantly tries to shut him up to avoid getting mocked by his brother. Being seen as nurturing is grounds for ridicule in the world of traditional masculinity, but by the end of the episode, Luigi starts to embrace who he is and stands up for himself.
That's Mama Luigi to you, Mario!
The episode closes out by fast-forwarding to present day, where Luigi is tucking grown-up Yoshi into bed.
Good night, Yoshi.
Night, Mama Luigi.
Luigi owns his role as a caretaker, regardless of what is being said about him. Even when Mario isn't verbally mocking Luigi for having a softer side, he disregards his brother's kind gestures and shows general disrespect. Stepping over people for personal gain is one of the staples of traditional masculinity.
How come I always have to come along to save your girlfriend?
Bro, you're my wingman.
In this mindset, helping others is a sign of weakness, especially if it means they get ahead and you don't. But already back in 1991, Luigi learned to stop denying who he is and live by his heart instead of by gendered expectations.
What's the matter, baby? Are you hungry?
Even though Luigi was introduced as a character in the Mario Bros. Arcade game in 1983, he didn't get his own game until 2001, when Nintendo released Luigi's Mansion. Unless, of course, you count Mario as Missing, an educational game where Luigi forces players to learn about geography and history. Or Luigi's Hammer Toss from 1990, which was less of a game and more of an embarrassment, trapped in a novelty watch. As you can imagine, neither of these was a boon to his masculine image.
Mario is Missing, with an emphasis on Mario. The title couldn't have been Luigi saves his stupid-ass brother because he's an idiot? No, the focus is always on Mario.
Luigi was never cast as a main player in any Nintendo platformer because the masses and the company deemed him too weak and dorky.
Won't you be a dear and take your brother Luigi with you?
Aw, come on, Ma, he's such a baby!
He just wants to save the princess too.
He's a dork, Ma, everybody makes fun of him!
That was from a 2014 fan-made video called Luigi's Day Out, making fun of Luigi's sensitivity, which today has over 27 million views on YouTube.
Yay! I'm gonna go on an adventure!
No one saw Luigi as a leader. If he was included in a platformer game at all, he was the sidekick. He wasn't trusted to be adventurous and brave. Even as the protagonist in his own games, he was either an educator or a time waster, no pun intended, and didn't have to confront the excitement and danger that Mario is known to face.
Mario! You again? Don't you ever give up?
Mario! How dare you disturb my family vacation?
In light of all this, when Nintendo debuted Luigi's Mansion on GameCube as the franchise's launch title in 2001, it upset Mario fans around the world.
I tell you, this was supposed to be Nintendo's flagship game that was going to sell millions of GameCubes, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm completely disappointed.
They had come to expect an action-packed platformer with Mario as the plumber protagonist to go along with their fancy new gaming systems, but what they got instead was, at face value, just a terrified sidekick running around a mansion crying with a vacuum. Not only was the gameplay completely different from anything the Mario franchise previously released, but Nintendo also didn't put out a Mario-led game on the GameCube until Super Mario Sunshine debuted in 2002. The playtime for Luigi's Mansion was noticeably shorter than the multi-world landscapes in a typical Mario platformer, and the puzzles were relatively simple. Fans of the franchise felt robbed, but from that point until the release of Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Nintendo Switch, the public opinion of Luigi has softened.
I honestly feel like it just wasn't getting the respect it deserved.
Just a bit. This is due to a few key factors. 1. Our society has a lust for nostalgia content, no matter how ill-received the material was originally, except for you, Luigi's Hammer Toss. 2. Technology has advanced to transform Luigi's once clunky graphics and controls into beautiful, unique environments and movements.
But instead of just his head and nose shaking uncontrollably, Luigi now appears to shake all over. His eyelids quiver slightly, the flashlight shakes a bit, and his mouth opens and closes more naturally.
3. The general acceptance of non-traditional gender roles and the fluid nature of masculinity allow us to empathize with and support Luigi's behaviors, which were once ridiculed for deviating from the norm.
This shallow, emotionally disconnected approach to masculinity is so outdated and out of touch with the demands of modern society.
This is not to say that Luigi is widely accepted as the face of the new man. He isn't even in the starting roster of Super Smash Bros. 64. To add insult to injury, when you do unlock his character, he's introduced as the eternal understudy. Although that dates back to 1999, his recent promotional pictures for 2018's Smash Ultimate aren't doing his image any favors either. He's still the butt of the joke, and the joke is just that he's weird, he's frail, and he's unmanly.
Wow! At the latest Nintendo Direct, they showed Luigi literally getting killed, and everybody laughed.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Maybe.
Luigi has taken all of this abuse in stride. His gentle disposition keeps him from getting angry and lets him stay focused on the task at hand, which almost always involves helping someone else. On Nintendo's official website, Luigi's bio describes him as a great guy. And he is, but in typical Nintendo fashion, there's more to that sentence. But he's not exactly brave, and he's really scared of ghosts. As if that's such a preposterous thing to be afraid of. It's also common knowledge that saying someone's great, but is just an insult in a bad disguise.
What did Father used to say? Everything before the word but is horse shit.
Nintendo goes on to say, like his big brother though, he's quick to lend his hand to those in trouble. Of course, any praise toward Luigi has to be couched in praise of Mario. This bio is so petty that it sounds like Mario wrote it himself and had Peach edit it to skew kinder. Mario might as well be this guy.
You know who he ain't? Luigi. Here's why. He's a giant boy. He has just slowly devolved into a bumbling idiot.
Luigi is generous and helpful. When he defeats King Boo at the Last Resort Hotel, the building collapses on its own, and all of the ghosts he had collected are released. Luigi not only befriends the ghosts, he also helps them rebuild their hotel. By contrast, when Mario conquers a castle, he intentionally blows it up, along with everyone inside. Luigi has the moral high ground on that one. And here, Luigi has just saved Mario from spending an eternity inside a painting. When Luigi tries to get them out of danger, Mario says no.
This way. Huh? Let's go.
And wants to go his own way, then leaves without Luigi. And instead of Luigi getting angry, he's just like,
Okay.
It would be easy for Luigi to hold a grudge against Mario for all of his machismo, aggression, and manipulation, but he is instead kind and forgiving. Masculinity doesn't have to be synonymous with aggression and repression, as we've seen through Luigi's gentle nature, his expression of love, and his abundant fear.
Oh no.
Manliness is what you make it.
At the end of the day, it's just about being who you are and not what people are trying to force you to be.
The core of masculine strength is truly confidence. In traditional masculinity, confidence means not letting emotion trip you up on your path to the top. In modern masculinity, confidence means being comfortable showing your emotions and letting them help you reach your goals.
I don't care who it is. If I want to show emotion, I'll cry. I'll cry if I want to cry, innit? Yeah. But some people that feel like they can't do that.
Luigi's history teaches an important lesson. People will ridicule you for being yourself and try to define you in ways that marginalize your worth. Instead of using that as a justification to be malicious back, use it as an opportunity to be caring and compassionate, even if it's only to yourself.
Luigi may not be the main character, but he is one of the main characters.
Hi everyone, I'm Susanna.
And I'm Deborah. And you're watching
The Take.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to share and subscribe.